Grand rising to all my investors and stuff out there, man. Thank y'all for coming through for this another Monday of this entrepreneurial conversation that we're gonna be having today. In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about is growing your business during trials and tribulation. Once again, that's growing your business during trials and tribulation is going to be the episode for today. But before we jump into the topic for today, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And also smash on that like button so the algorithm know we dropping real content conversation over here. And also make sure you make your way over to Invest Media YouTube channel, because like I said before, pretty soon we're going to stop dropping new episodes of our entrepreneur conversation on this channel. We're moving everything over to our Invest Media channel. So definitely go over there and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And when you over there, make sure you check out our other show called Entrepreneur Post, where we drop in giving entrepreneurs that doesn't have the notoriety or the recognition like the big tycoon entrepreneurs / investors, what have you. So we giving them their flowers, and definitely check out the first two episodes. The first episode is about Chameleonaire, and the second episode is about Nas. So we definitely check that out. Like I said before, everything's gonna be moving over to Invest Media, so definitely go and subscribe over there. But today, let's go ahead and jump into the topic. You know what I like to do. I like to use a situation, a person, a business, an entrepreneur that's already in the game. Like to use that situation to make a segue into the topic. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about continue to grow your business through trials and tribulation. And as you know, today we're going to use example. We're going to be talking about the Marathon brand, right? So, you know, as of right now, you got Nipsey Hussle, older brother, Black Sam, who's running it because he is the administrator over Nipsey Hussle estate, right? So, as you know, Nipsey Hussle, you know, he passed away a couple years ago and what have you. So Black Sam was left running the business. He had to carry the brand and take it to where it is now. So, you know, your trials and tribulation can be anything that you're going through as an entrepreneur. It can be a loss of a loved one, can be going through a divorce. It could be a bad business deal. It could be a loss of a job that you was using to finance your business as an entrepreneur. So it can be anything. But Black Sam trials and tribulation was his passing of his brother, his younger brother, Nipsey Hussle, right? Because when it's somebody that you grew up with, was your best friend, who was your confidant, was a person that that you looked out for, who was your brother, who was, like I said, your friend, somebody you communicate, your business partner, somebody you communicate with every day. And now you no longer can speak to this person in a physical realm, but you can speak to them in the spiritual realm and what have you. So Black Sam, you know, he had to make a decision, even though it was hard, but he also understood that Nipsey had a vision. He wanted to make sure he carried that vision out. And he had to take the brand over, and he had to continue to move forward, even though, you know, it's a hard process, especially like I said, it's somebody that's special to you that passed away. But now you have to carry that torch. You have to carry that brand. He had a choice. He can either let the brand die off, or he can move forward with the vision that both of them had, right? So Black Sam, he said he continued the Nipsey vision by focusing on community upliftment in the mindset of the marathon, right? Which he emphasized that the brand is about inspiration and the idea of the journey continues, not a race, but a pace. So still focusing on the vision of him and Nipsey Hussle had, it was uplifting the community, right? Which he wanted to make that marathon brand and take it to another level, and it represent inspiration, right? So this was the thing that helped him stay focused on the vision, even though the passing of his brother is something that you have to mourn throughout your process of growing your business. Continue to take your business to the next level, right? So this is something that he really wanted to do and make sure his brother legacy lived on, because once Nipsey passed away, they received a lot of customers, people flying out, coming to the Marathon store. Before that one, they got another one. I don't know what location it is right where it is now, the new one, but I know the old one that was right there on the strip of, I think, Crenshaw was closed down. The first one, right, the first spot that they had, right, was closed down. But before it was closed down, people was flying in, supporting the brand and what have you. So that really helped him to focus on continue to do what he wanted, to continue to push the vision even further, to pay it to focus, remain focused on the vision. So it helps when you have that type of support, people, supporting you, people letting you know, hey, we got your back, we here for you. So that definitely help you through your morning process, right? So and the thing about it is, Black Sam want to expand the Marathon brand into different areas. He just didn't want it to just be a clothing brand, right? And this is the vision him and Nipsey had. So this year, I want to say March of 2025, somewhere around there, he opened up Marathon Burger, right? Because this is something that him and Nipsey dreamed of, right? So it was a new restaurant that was a dream of Nipsey, and is built on the same principle of inspiring the community. So every business adventure that they have is something that's always focused on inspiring the community. It's community upliftment, community empowerment. And so that's something that was really something that they wanted to do. So they got a new Marathon store that, there are plans for a new Marathon store to open on Melrose Avenue. So the new store opening up on Melrose Avenue. So I think it's opened up right now, at as of this day and what have you, right? So the community and the legacy initiatives, right? So this is beyond the business, right? Black Sim is developing community focused projects, right? So the Neighborhood Knit Foundation is one of the things that he definitely want to add to the business ventures that he has, that he have planned, right? And one of the ventures that he do have planned is to make sure the neighborhood is called the Neighborhood Knit Foundation is taken care of. So the original Crenshaw Slauson location of the Marathon store is being remodeled into a foundation to operate like a boys and girls club. So that's one of the things that he wanted to do, is make sure that he's taking care of Knit Foundation, because if you know Nipsey Hussle, he was big on giving back to the youth, right? Which I think he had a area where kids within the community, teenagers can come and learn tech and what have you, right? Then he also have a youth music program, which this foundation will include a studio to host free music program for children, continue a program that inspired Nipsey Hussle in his youth. So these are some of the things that he have in store, right, for their future ventures. And like I said, they got the Marathon Burger, they got the new location for the clothing store, which is on Melrose, right? And they also he had is things that he working on for the Neighborhood Knit Foundation, right? So through the trials and tribulations, right? Black Sam, he understood, like, this is what Nipsey wanted. Nipsey wanted him to continue to move on with the marathon. He wanted to continue with the journey, these he understood this is the vision that him and his brother had, especially Nipsey. He wanted to continue to build on that vision that they have. He wanted to continue to bring everything that they vision for this business, bring it to fruition. And he understood only way he going to do that is continue to move forward, even though he's mourning. Sometimes, you may feel like you're not in your best mind, and you don't feel like working on anything because you in your mourning process. But at the same time, with the support system that he had, and he understood he had employees, he had people working for him. So he definitely had to continue to go because he had other people that depended on him, right? So that also going to help you stay focused, help you keep going, and what have you. So Black Sam, he really, continue with the vision, right? So once again, um, the upholding of Nipsey vision was the main goal to help Black Sam continue to push forward with this marathon brand. So it's more than just the clothing brand. It's something that now they venture. It's something of inspiration, right? Like I said, they got the marathon burger, something that Nipsey vision dreamed about, having a restaurant and what have you. You know, then he got Nipsey Hustle Foundation. So it's things that he still um trying to bring it to fruition to continue with the vision that him and his brother had. So that's something that's very important, man. Through the trials and tribulation, you always, want to remain focused on the vision. What is your why, right? So it's gonna be trials and tribulations, especially as an entrepreneur. You're gonna have trials and tribulations. It's all about how you can continue to move forward. How can you continue to go? Like me, for instance, I was in the middle of a rebrand, coming up with new ideas, posting, making content, getting ready to working on my new site, getting ready to launch. While my father was sick and what have you, but he got to the point where that that he was slowly declining, where I knew it was going to be any day where he was going to be leaving this earth in this physical realm and going with the ancestors, right? So that right there, when that happened, like I said, I was in the middle of a rebrand, right? It just completely stopped. That's somebody, like I said, that's, one of my parents, my father, my friend, someone I talk to, watch sports with. And at the same time, like I said, if you you gotta, as an entrepreneur, you're gonna have trials and tribulations, but it's all about, how you move forward. Even though you can take some months off, but don't quit. Don't lose the sight of your vision of what you're doing this for. And just a couple months, I want to say a month or two ago, I finally got back into feeling, doing what I need to do. Now I'm back to rebranding. The content that I had up on my Instagram at the time all this was going on, I took it down because it's too many months to pass now, so I can't continue to go forward with those ideas. It's time to come out with new ideas, new designs, and what have you. So I had to continue to move forward, even though the mourning process wasn't like it was when it first happened a couple months down the line. But yes, I'm still mourning. I'm still miss my father, but at the same time, he will want me to continue to work hard. He will want me continue to bring my vision to fruition far as my business. So that was something that I had to really, hone in on and get back to myself so I can put my family in a better position as possible and make sure my son have something for the future and what have you. So that's was so this that those were some things that was the main thing that Black Sound, helped Black Sound continue to focus on the vision, was continue to grow the business, was upholding Nipsey vision. So today we're gonna be jumping to the topic for today. Like I said, man, growing your business through trials and tribulation, man. And as you know, man, as an entrepreneur, like I said, it's gonna be trials and tribulation. If it's a loss of a job, going through a divorce, a loss of a loved one, and what have you, financial crisis, and what have you, whatever you're going through that's causing you trials and tribulations, it's going to happen. But at the same time, make sure you stay focused on the vision of what you trying to do, because this is going to keep you moving forward and helping you grow your business, right? So the first thing, is the mindset, the vision anchors, the things that's gonna help you stay focused through these tough times, right? So you want to revisit your why, revisit your why, write down and reflect on the deeper purpose behind your business and stay aligned during these trials and tribulations, right? So that's the main important thing. Go back and revisit your why. Why are you doing this for? Like I said, Black Sam why he thought about his why when he went back and revisited his why. He's doing this to continue to uphold Nipsey vision and also his vision, right? Because this was something that they wanted to do because this was about community building and empowering the community, inspiring the community, and also promoting entrepreneurship, right? So as an entrepreneur, you got to revisit your why. Why are you doing this for, right? Especially you going through tough times, but at the same time, this will definitely give you the momentum that you need. This will give you the focus, the fuel that you need to continue to push forward, even through the tough times and what have you, right? So that's one of the one of the main important things, right? And another thing is, you want to do is your vision board check in. You want to look at your vision board, right? You want to create and update any visual representation of where you want to take your company, right? So at the time, you're going through your trials and tribulations, whatever going on, you definitely want to create and update your visual representation where you at right now, where your mindset at, what you want to do as of right now. You want to update it because this is very important, right? So what was like, go back to Black Sam. He wanted he went back, look at his vision board, and also he remembered like he wanted this marathon brand to be just more than clothing. He wanted to add a restaurant because this is something of Nipsey dream was to add a burger joint, a burger spot, and also other future ventures that they're going to get, that they're going to do within this marathon brand and what have you. And one of the important things was the Nipsey Foundation, that he wanted to continue to add to and what have you. So definitely want to go and check your vision board, do your vision board checkups, to see, what updates you need to make upon your vision board, or what you need to create to add to your vision board, right? Because this is the representation of where you want to take your company, right? That's very which is very important, right? Then you also, you want to practice on long-term thinking, because trials are only temporary, right? Keep reminding yourself that the vision is bigger than the current struggle, right? So what was Black Sam, what was his vision? His vision was to continue to empower the community, promote entrepreneurship, because this was part of him and Nipsey vision, was that they was very big on that, especially Nipsey, and inspiring the community, building the community, and promoting entrepreneurship. So whatever you going through, like I said, as an entrepreneur, you want to practice long-term thinking, because what you're going through, your trials, is just temporarily, right? You want to make sure you're thinking for the long term, because if you want to continue to grow your business, you want to continue to create um uh financial freedom, whatever you're trying to create for your future, you got to make sure you are thinking long term, right? You want to remind yourself the vision is bigger than what's going on. You're going to be going through pain of a loss of a loved one, especially someone close to you. This is only going to be temporarily. Yes, it's going to hurt for the remainder of your life, but at the same time, the vision has to be bigger, because now why are you doing this? You want to continue to move forward because that person that loved you gonna want you to move forward, gonna want you to continue to do what it takes to put yourself in a better position, right? So just continue to remind yourself the vision is bigger than the current struggle. Yes, you may be struggling through, like I said, if it's losing your job, trying to find another one so you can be able to finance your business and what have you, or you going through um divorce, whatever you're going through right now at the moment. Just make sure you keep reminding yourself that the vision is bigger than your current situation that's going on right now. The next thing within just building, helping you to continue to build through your trials and tribulation, is strategic actions, right? So as this is going on and what have you, You want to look at your visions, right? You want to break your vision to micro goals because at the time, you're going through your struggles, you're going through whatever you're going through, right? So you want to make sure you turn the big picture into something that's small, right? Achieve steps to continue momentum even in tough times. So, like I said before, even though you're going through tough times, you want to create momentum. You want to, whatever picture you had before the trials and tribulations came, you want to break them down to small steps, right? Don't try to do them in big steps. Don't. I know you may had a different strategic plan on achieving this goal, but at the time now, your mind going to be on what's going on and partly on what's going on and on trying to still grow your business. So break it down to small step because it's all about continue to create momentum for yourself rather than you don't have any motion, you don't have any momentum, because if you don't, that means everything's going to be stagnant, right? Through tough times, you want to continue to go. You don't want to you don't want to become stagnant within tough times because that's not going to help you grow. That's not going to help your business grow. So through tough times, you want to find steps, find things that's going to help you continue to create that momentum, continue to stay busy and what have you, right? So that's something that's very important to do, right? Um, Another thing is you want to adapt, but don't abandon your vision, right? So whatever is going on, you want to adjust your strategies when circumstances change, right? So you want to make sure you do that. Keep the core mission intact, right? So that's very important. So whatever you're going through, don't abandon your vision. Just adjust it. It's okay. Sometimes you need to adjust where your strategy. Sometimes you need to adjust your plans according to what's going on right now, right? Because now it's like for instance, if you're going through a job loss, you just happen to get laid off and you was solely using this your finance for your job to fund your business. So now you don't have that same income on. Now you have to adjust to what your financial situation is right now. But don't change the core mission. Your core mission is to get your business growing, to continue to grow your business. So now you might have to find things at a reasonable price. Now you might have to scale back to just one idea or just one core product or what have you until you find find some income, subsequential income to help you sustain and helping you grow your business or what have you, right? So that's very important. Just adapt. You got to have the ability to adapt to your trials and tribulation, your circumstances, whatever's going on. You got to have the ability to adapt so you can make the adjustments so you can continue to move forward and what have you. So that's something that's very important, right? Like I said, if I lost a job, lean on a minimal variable product, right? Focus on delivering the simplest version of your idea to test and grow without heavy costs. So, like I said, if it's a loss of job, if it's if you're going through some of a divorce or you something that's going to cause you um to where your financial situation ain't the same, you can lean towards the minimal variable product, something that's going to be cost efficient, something that's not going to cost you a lot, something that's going to be very easy to be able to create this version of your idea. So it's all about, man, continue to move forward with your vision and what you have. Sometimes strategic actions that you have, you might have to adjust them. You might have to change them according to your trials and tribulations of what's going on. Because, like I said, you could be going through anything that changes your financial status, your financial situation, what have you. Or you might not be able to you might not have them same connects. You might have a falling out with somebody where the connects that they had, you was able to get things at a great price, or you had a pipeline or what have you. Anything can happen, right? So that's why it's so important for you to be able to adapt so you can make the adjustment to your strategic actions that you had planned for your business or what have you, right? So that's very important to do, right? And another thing is you want to build resilience, build a resilient system, right? So you want to be able to create a backup plan, to be able to weather turbulence, anything that may occur. You want to have a backup plan. Like I said, as an entrepreneur, trials and tribulations is going to happen. Things going to happen within your journey as an entrepreneur. So you always want to have a backup plan to help you be able to adjust, to be able to help you to adapt, right? You want to continue to, so you can continue to be able to grow your business, continue to move, because it's all about not becoming stagnant. It's all because once you become stagnant, then you're going to become less motivated to continue to work on your business, and you stop working on your business. Guess what's going to happen? Things just going to fall off to the wayside, right? So it's all about continue to move forward, continue to have that momentum that you need to continue to grow your business, right? And that's something that Sam, he that he continued to do. Even I won't say far as like a backup plan, because you never know when somebody's going to leave, one of your loved ones going to be leave. He never knew something like this is going to happen, so I won't say he was able to create a backup plan. But since Nipsey was who he was, they was in a better financial situation than the average entrepreneur just starting off, right? So even though that happened to Nipsey, he still had his contacts. He still had his networking system. He still had things put in place, so he can continue to move this marathon brand forward and what have you, right? So it's all about, man, continue to create momentum for yourself. So what I say, you had the mindset and vision anchors that you can use to help you move forward. Then you also, what I say, you had your strategic actions that you can use to help you adapt, to adjust strategically to your trials and tribulations, whatever is going on, right? So the next thing is relationship and support, right? So you might want to, help, create you a vision circle. So this is basically, 3 to 5 people or 3 people, 2 to 3 people. How many people you feel like you can trust? It can be peers, can be family members, friends, can be advisors, it can be mentors and what have you. But these are going to be these going to be people within your circle that's going to help remind you of your vision. Just going to help you from wavering off to the side. They're going to be there to help you, remind you of your why. Going to help you continue to stay focused on your vision of what is important, what you want to do, and what have you. So that's very important to have a support system, especially when trials and tribulations happen, because a lot of times people don't have a strong support system. People don't have people around them that's going to support them, going to help them through the tough times. It's going to and it's hard to find people to trust, people to have your best interests at heart, especially when you're going through tough times. Are they around you until tough times happen, or they around you to help you, or they just around you to kick you down even more? So you want to find, 2 to 3 people, 3 to 5. How many people you feel like you can trust? That's going to be part of your circle when it's going, because like I said, that's one of the things too that help Black Sam, because Black Sam had a strong support system. He had his family, he had his friends, he had people that loved Nipsey Hustle, loved the marathon brand, Nipsey, people that respect and love Nipsey. So it's good to have people that know they support you, that they here for you. You have great relationships with people, right? And another thing within this relationship and support sector of it is, engage with your community, right? See, that's one of the things that they already had intact. They always connected with their customers. They always connected with their supporters, right? Which who resonate with your mission. Their feedback can fuel persistence, right? So they stayed connected within the community, because that was one of their big thing that they wanted to do is uplift the community, empower the community, inspire. And that's what the marathon brand was about. It's inspiration. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to build a community where the youth can have something they can come to, and they can build their dream, help them out. They can learn a skill, a craft, and what have you. So that was something that's very important. Then they had supporters that supported them. And like I said, once Nipsey Hussle passed away, you had a lot of people flying in, wanting to support the brand, help them out, and what have you. Right? You had loyal customers that shot with them. So that's very important to see that, right? And another thing during your trials, making sure you communicate vision clearly, right? So during this time, during the trials, keep your team or your partners aligned by repeating the vision and reinforcing belief, right? So that's very important. Like I said, if you this is for entrepreneurs that you do have a team. You want to definitely communicate the vision clearly. You want to continue to let them know, repeat the vision, let them know everything is still going. We still got the same vision. We still building towards the same thing. The mission is still the same, even though it's a lot going on with me or around the brand, but the vision is still the same. So nothing's changed. We still moving forward. It's going to be a tough time, but at the same time, we're going to continue to work towards the vision that we have. So that was something that's very important. Like, just to go back to Black Sam, his vision was to continue to uphold Nipsey vision for the brand and the community and what have you. So that's very important, right? You definitely want to have your communication. You want to make sure you have a strong, tight circle, people you can trust. You want to engage with your community, right? And you also want to make sure you communicate your vision clearly. You want to make your team, if you do have a team, make it clear to them, like, we still pushing forward. We still the same vision. We still building towards the same thing, right? So that's what's very, very important to do, right? So the next thing is, you want to have practical growth tools, right? And one of the growth tools that you want to have is you want to invest in personal resilience. You want to invest in something like journaling, practice journaling, meditation, even through fitness can help. A lot of people use fitness for a way to take their mind off of what's going on within their life. On if they going through trials and tribulations, a lot of people like to go and work out. What I'm saying, because it help clear their mind, it help take the stress off and what have you. And you also can meditation, help bring a calm mind, a calm understanding, and what have you, right? Then journaling, journaling, people can get out their frustration, they stress, whatever's going on. They can put it on paper, they can write. And sometimes people go back and look at what they was going through at that time and what helped them um get through those tough times. And journaling is a good way to have some pinpoint you can go back to see how, if you ever get back into that funk, or you go through any more trials and tribulation, you can go back to that point and see, like, this is what I did to help me get out of what I was going through, right? So that's something that's very important, right? Practice on your growth tools. What tools can I use that can help me to grow while I'm going through my trials and tribulation, that can help make me stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, what have you. What can I do? So those are some tools that you can use to help you grow your business, because you have to be mentally there, right? You have to be physically there, right? When you trying to grow your business. So that's something that's very important to do. Practice journaling, meditating, go get a gym membership, go, do fitness, invest in some fitness, right? So that's very important to do, right? Very important to do. Guys, another thing is embrace iteration, right? Vision doesn't have to be static. refine it based on lived experience and lessons, right? So that's the key thing. Like I said before, your vision doesn't have to become stagnant because you're going through trials and tribulations, because you're going through tough times. Doesn't mean your vision had to become static. You got to continue to build momentum. You got to continue to be consistent at movement, because it's all about continue to have build momentum. Because once you lose that momentum, it's hard to get it back, right? Especially if you don't do little things or do something while you're going through your trials and tribulation, you're going to lose a lot, right? You're going to become static, and static going to lead to no movement, no motion, and next thing you know, you're going to quit, you're going to give up. So you make sure you continue to move, right? Refine based on your live experience and lessons. Just continue to go, continue to move, right? Your vision doesn't have to become stagnant, right? At all. Just refine your vision, based on your lived experience and lessons, what you are learning through this, what is going on. You can always update your vision. You can always add to your vision, right? So that's very important. It's all about adapting to your situation. Use your lived experience and your lessons to help you refine your vision and what have you, right? So that's something that's very important. All right. Then and I'm just gonna throw this one in here, right? The last thing, I'm just gonna throw this one in. You want to celebrate your endurance, even through your trials and tribulation. You want to give yourself a round of applause. You want to pat yourself on the back, because sometimes the biggest win is simply staying in the game when others quit. And like I just said before, rather than you becoming stagnant, then eventually quitting, you want to continue to move. And as you continue to gain momentum, just the simplest thing that you do, the simplest progress that you make is a big win for you, right? And that's something is all about continue to have endurance. Celebrate your endurance, because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people go through trials and tribulation and they fall off. A lot of people go through trials and tribulation and they let that become an anchor to why they didn't continue within their entrepreneurship journey, right? A loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, right? A divorce, change of a situation, what have you, right? Um, a bad business breakup, whatever it is that's causing you to go through these trials and tribulations, what have you, right? Why why most quit, just stay in the game, celebrate your endurance. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes the biggest wins is simple, right? Just making simple progress. Continue to be consistent. Just do something that's going to help continue with building on the momentum that you already have, right? Before your trials and tribulations, all about. And that's why I said when the storm comes, continue to build within the storm, because once the storm is over with, you're going to be as big. It's going to build you within, you growing as a person, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever. It's going to help you grow, and you're going to see it once you come out your trials and tribulations, whatever is going, because we all go through it as an entrepreneur. We all go through adversity, but it's all about how you're going to come out of those situations. Some make it and some don't, guys. And at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, that was a big loss for Black Sam. It was a big loss for the Marathon brand, because Nipsey was the face. Nipsey was the person out there, making sure um the brand is being promoted, making sure it's getting financially funded, whatever it take to make sure this marathon brand go. Not saying Black Sam wasn't putting no money into it, because Black Sam, he's a very smart guy. He's a great entrepreneur. He have great ideas and what have you. But Nipsey, he was the face of it. He was the front guy. So he could have, after that happened, right? He could have gave up. He could have just said, you know what? No, it's not going to be no longer no marathon brand. I can't do it. But he didn't, because he had a mission, and his mission was to uphold his brother vision of the marathon brand and continue to help build the community up and empower the community and inspire them. So that was something that was special to him. That was his why. And that was his understanding to why he needed to continue to push forward, even though he lost his brother, he lost his little brother, he lost his best friend, he lost somebody he confided in, somebody he protected, right? Somebody he talked to every day, his business partner, right? So that's something, that could be make you or break you, but he chose to use that to continue to push forward, right? Because he understood what Nipsey wanted from him. And so, as an entrepreneur, understand your why, understand your vision, uphold your vision, continue to adapt to what's going on, make the proper adjustment that you need to do strategically, and continue to use your obstacles as filters, especially when you're going through these challenges, to prepare you for a bigger stage for growth and what have you. But other than that, guys, man, make sure you subscribe to the Invest Media channel. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when a new episode drop. And also smash on that like button so the algorithm know we dropping real conversation over here at the Entrepreneur Conversation Invest Media, brought to you by Invest Media. And also, man, make sure you like all the videos on our Entrepreneur Post videos. We also got the new one they're gonna be dropping. I think it's either this week or the following week. We're gonna be talking about giving 50 Cent his flowers as an entrepreneur. So definitely don't want to miss out on that episode. And also, we're gonna be in these coming months, we're gonna be start shooting some content for Invest Brand TV. So that's our clothing motivational brand side of our business. So we're gonna definitely give you some day-to-day or every other day content for that. So definitely, man, we got some things coming, man. So make sure that you are following us, Invest Media. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram page. Tap into that. Follow us on Facebook. I think we might have a Twitter page. We really haven't posted. I just created our Twitter page, which we know as X. So we really don't have a lot of content on that yet, but follow Invest Media there on Twitter and what have you. But other than that, guys, man, see y'all when I see y'all. Tap in. Yup.